expressed in the following program are those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily reflect the views of Real TV, its affiliates, or sponsors.
Of our local, regional and international viewers, thank you kindly for choosing us here at Real TV, where we bring reality to you. My dear friends, a very warm welcome to another edition of the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. I am Zelisa Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy, get your pen, get your notebook, Real TV, so you can take notes and important numbers that will be helpful for you and your loved ones. Directing this morning and in Master Control, Josiah Portillo, and on behalf of the team, we'd like to wish each and every one of you a beautiful, blessed, productive, and great day today. Happy Thursday, my friends. It's Thursday, the 30th of April, 2026. Can you believe it? Already the last day of this month of April, gone, never to come again. That's how important time is, so don't ever take it for granted. All right, today it's Thursday the 30th, and of course if you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours. That's someone special. Don't take life for granted. Don't take your loved ones for granted. Tomorrow's not promised. Cherish this day. Be grateful. Look for the positives, you know. Let's go to our quote for today, please, coming to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo, and our quote says, "Today is a new day. Even if you were wrong yesterday, you can get it right today." Exactly. Don't let another day pass without fixing. Don't let another day pass without getting things right. You have, the authority and the control to do that. All right. So today is a new day. Even if you were wrong yesterday, you can get it right today. Make things happen. Thank you so much. That came to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo. Remember to check them out. Let's go to the ad, please.
Looking for something truly unique this season? Then you need to visit Fab India Expo, located opposite Medford Gas Station, Shogunas. Brand new containers have just arrived, packed with one-of-a-kind garments you won't find anywhere else. Whether you're shopping for something stylish, traditional, or custom-made, we've got you covered with made-to-order pieces tailored just for you. And it doesn't stop there. Take a stroll through our full food court, offering delicious options for the entire family. From savory bites to sweet treats, there's something for everyone. Plus, don't miss our big sale on furniture. Upgrade your home with beautiful pieces at unbeatable prices. So come on down to the Fab India Expo, located opposite Medford Gas Station, Shogunas, where culture, style, and savings come together.
Out, safe and secure parking, great deals. Not forgetting the food court with the delicious food, authentic cooks all the way from India, and you'll get a taste of India, especially the pani puri that I look forward to having it here in Trinidad. Today I am in conversation with a beautiful young lady I've known. I admire her. She is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to the beauty industry, but she's not just beautiful, it's a combination of beauty and brains. I'm speaking of no other than Priyanka Maharaj. Good morning, darling, and welcome.
Thank you.
Whenever I see you, I light up. The fact is, like I said, I do admire you so much.
Thank you very much.
You're a young lady that's always been very focused, very ambitious. You set your goals, and I am actually seeing your goals materialize.
Thank you.
And more so, why I feel like, you're under my wings and I feel so connected is because you are have been very much part of Real TV.
Yes, I was.
From the inception in terms of our news. She was the face of our news. And, other great things are in the making. Priyanka, beauty and brains, it didn't come easy. You're doing a lot in terms of, you're doing journalism.
I am, yes. I'm doing journalism. Always loved communication.
Modeling. And I think for the benefit of our viewers who don't know your strengths, you do have a significant presence here in Trinidad and Tobago, especially when it comes to the world of pageants, right? Queen of Hearts 2024-25. Tell us about that.
Yes, so that was a pageant I did with 103. It was quite different from the usual pageants. Oftentimes pageantry, there's a swimwear segment, there's an evening gown segment. But for that, of course, they wanted to really highlight the rich culture in Trinidad and Tobago, specifically, in the context of East Indian culture.
Yes.
Yes, and so we had little challenges. I remember one, we had went to a grocery and we had to pick a food.
Yeah.
And we had to prepare something for that. And what did I got? I got callaloo and rice.
Callaloo and
Callaloo and
rice.
rice. And so, it really tested that skill. Like, can you be quick on your feet? Can you be confident in front of the camera and throw together your dish? I got everything except the bhaji, which, how do you make callaloo without bhaji? I don't know. But we had like 2 minutes, a timer. So, that was one aspect of it. And then, of course, we had to give a speech and we had to model. And so that was a great, experience in itself. And I was one of the finalists on that.
Well, I know the speech you would have aced that. I know you, when it comes to her speech and how she articulates, she's well spoken, very rounded young lady. Miss Grand TNT 25,
Yes.
talk to us about
Yes.
this.
So that was, I would say, my most recent pageant. As we know, Miss Grand, that's one of the big four pageants. It's Miss Grand, Miss World, Miss Universe, and Miss Earth. And so Miss Grand was my first major, I would say, local, national pageant. I did do the Miss India pageant actually when I was 15. And
Correct,
yes,
yes.
that's really what got me into pageantry. But of course, Miss Grand, it was very different from what I usually do.
Yes.
Miss Grand, and I mean, they're very vocal about it.
Yeah.
They have the 3 Bs: beauty, body, 4 Bs rather: beauty, body, brains, and business. And one thing, Miss Grand kind of leans a bit into more like being a sexy kind of brand, which is very, very different from what I did. And then when I did that, a lot of people said, Priyanka, that's a little different from what you usually do. But, I always say, as an actor, as a model, you want to present yourself as a product. Of course, still maintaining, what your morals are, what your boundaries are. But it was very different from, I guess, what I usually do. And in that, I received the Best Social Media Recipient award, and I placed in the top 5.
As expected.
Thank you.
You speak about the grant and then you speak about Miss World, Miss Universe. Do you see yourself in the future stepping into such competitions?
Yes, definitely. This is a bit of a secret, but I am kind of thinking about auditioning for Miss World. This year, Miss World has always been a pageant that's growing up, as young as I can remember myself being 8 years, looking at, these girls in these beautiful gowns and they're speaking, their Beauty with a Purpose project and whatnot. Of course, at that point, for me, it really just, I just looked at it as, oh, that's some pretty girls with some pretty gowns. But as I got older, I understand that there is so much depth to pageantry. And so that is definitely an initiative I want to be part of.
Absolutely true. A lot of people would think when they think of beauty pageant shows and competitions and things like that, they just simply think of sexiness, looking a certain way, but there's a lot of depth, a lot more into it, a lot of intellect as well that a lot of people don't see or know, a lot of behind the scenes, and of course a lot of challenges that we'll talk about later on the show. Miss Joy Mastana Bahar.
Miss Joy, yes, Miss Joy. That was really taking its home. Miss Tana has been around for so many years, and again,
household name.
Yeah, they've been around so many years. I think I had read it's one of the oldest cultural programs in Trinidad. It was a great experience as well. They had 2 segments, the semi-finals, you come and you walk with your outfit, and of course the finals. And from that, there was the speech, which I did win best speech.
Again,
that is one thing that every time I'm entering a pageant, I always say, I don't have to win, but I want to get the speech award, or I want to get, like the charity Beauty with a Purpose type of award.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Very nice. Now, we're going to talk a little, you're a youth ambassador as well. I want to talk a little bit about, in terms of your talents. Yes, we know you're good at writing. Yes, we know you're good at speaking. You're absolutely beautiful. You're brilliant. But a lot of people don't know that you do more than that in terms of not just acting, but you sing.
I do, yes.
And so you have many talents.
Thank you.
How do you strike a balance? How do you really do it?
Of course. Well, one thing I always say is, a lot of what I do even professionally kind of aligns with my passions. I mean, even just being at the newsroom here, I would say that incorporated a form of modeling. You're getting to wake up, you're getting to dress up, communications, you're getting to speak about relevant issues.
Yeah.
And so what I really do is I just try to ensure that, they always say when you do what you love, you never work a day, which
True.
very cliche to say, but
Yeah.
to really answer your question in terms of striking a balance, I always try to ensure that there's a level of holistic development and there's a level of balance in what it is that I'm doing, in the sense that I put my mental health first. That's something I always say.
I
Mental
wanted
health
to talk to you about that.
yeah, mental health is something that's very, very important. And so if I know that I realize, okay, I'm becoming overwhelmed, I do try to slow down. Once I'm done slowing down, you'll see me sending into 1,000,001 gigs and whatnot. But yeah, no, I think it's really just about knowing your brand, knowing your image, knowing what it is you stand for. And I think once you maintain that, everything, it would align with each other, in terms of the music. You'll never hear me singing about something that would conflict with pageantry. And that is something that's very important. And I think nowadays with social media, a lot of people just want to jump on the viral train. But I think as long as you ensure the things you're doing, you can be doing 1,000,001 things, but once they don't conflict with each other,
Yeah.
that'll be fine.
And you have to strike a balance. You have to be able to, like you say, when you become overwhelmed or you're in a place where you feel, well, it's just too much, you have to know to pause. You do that and you step back.
Of course.
And then, get yourself recharged again to go again.
Most definitely.
You in terms of time management, you also speak about mental health, which is so real and so true, and you could become very overwhelmed because you're not just doing one thing. You're studying, you're acting, you're doing a little bit of modeling. You're into a lot of different aspects, and so you've been able to say to yourself, take control wherever you feel it's going a little beyond
Yes,
your
of
control.
course.
Nice. What about in terms of your physique and your health? Because you maintain a very nice size. Are you disciplined when it comes to eating?
I am not as disciplined as I should be, and I know that's a horrible thing
You
to
have
say.
a good metabolism.
It's something that I am working on it. When I enter the Miss Grand pageant, I mean, I'm quite young. I'm 19, so my metabolism it's on my side for now, but it would probably catch up to me someday. But when I entered the Miss Grand pageant, components of that, they were kind of back and forth on having a fitness segment. So when I heard that, I was horrified. Like, I actually contemplated, should I drop out of the pageant and join next year? Because I mean, I've never really went to the gym before or anything.
Yeah.
But after that experience, I have started going to the gym,
Yeah.
and I do try to maintain a healthy diet because, again, your body. I have. And I mean, this is something that you know about, right? This is something that I've struggled with,
Yes.
especially when I was, in the newsroom and whatnot. Sometimes I'll have
I
flares.
remember
Yes.
we've had long discussions,
Of
and I would
course.
tell you, don't worry about it. You're beautiful, but you've also been able to overcome that.
For sure, most
But
definitely.
I am aware of those conversations that you and I
Yes.
had because you were very concerned.
I
This was,
was.
you
I
were
was.
concerned about your appearance and things like
Of
that.
course, and sorry, I mentioned that to really say that what you put in your body is what is going to show out.
Correct.
And when I tell you, I realized when I changed up my diet. Like now, I try every night to have a cup of turmeric tea with turmeric with ginger, and you put the black pepper. That has helped my skin, so well. So, to answer your question, I don't have a strict diet. I'm not like no more than 2,000 calories a day, but I do try to ensure whatever I put in my body is something, if it shows up on the outside, it's not, 10 pounds of sugar and all of that.
Absolutely correct. This is a program, Conversations with Zelisa, right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you in conversation with ever beautiful, gorgeous, charming, charismatic, brilliant Priyanka Maharaj. Let's go to these messages.
2050 install, yes. The Adina 12K Flex series are back in stock and these are going fast. Here's a look at some of our actual installations so you can see the finishings for yourself. Tidy chunking, level mounts and clean workmanship every time. Fast cooling, energy efficient, quiet, durable and of course clean and professional installation every time. We have limited stock and the last shipment sold out in days. This is the Fixer Center's most requested AC units. It's perfect for bedrooms, offices and small living spaces. Get your unit installed for 2050 right here at the Fixer Center. You can visit us at Lightpole 109 Monroe Cunupia or give us a call at 424-1563.
Planning a concert, conference, wedding, or cultural celebration? Let Real TV broadcast your event to the world. From live streaming and on-air coverage to global reach across TV and online platforms, we make sure your big moments are seen and heard everywhere. We offer professional production, worldwide exposure, and an unforgettable impact. Don't just host your event, let us share it with the world. Contact Real TV today, where your story becomes everyone's experience.
Call us today at 2926470 or WhatsApp us at 3847142. You can also send an email to realtv.corporate@gmail.com.
Macon Construction Company Limited. Save big whilst building stronger. We build with our Macon innovative building systems, which provides high wind speed, earthquake, sea blast and fire resistance. Is thermally and acoustically insulated, provides improved construction timelines and cost savings. We provide construction services from design to finish and everything in between. Macon Construction Company Limited, building green today with tomorrow's technology. Contact or visit us today.
Broadcast your yagnas, weddings, and Hindu celebrations live on Real TV. Share your special moments with us. Share your devotion with the nation. Call us at 373-8946 or email realtv.corporate@gmail.com to host your celebration today.
Back to Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. Today I'm in conversation with ever beautiful Priyanka Maharaj. A personal brand, building a personal brand for herself. A young lady originally from
Faizabad.
all the way from Faizabad, in coming from a home that was very sheltered, nurturing, loving, very closely knitted to your grandmother.
Of course,
I
yes.
know that's very attached to her, and auntie and mom and everybody. But come from a home where a lot of family support as well, which is so important.
Yes.
Humble, very humble beginnings. Beautiful family, really lovely family that I've had the privilege of meeting, interacting with, talking to one-on-one. And you could see where that sense of humility and the beauty of simplicity comes from, because a home or your family, you would be a reflection of that. And that is, you're a well-rounded, young, cultured young woman. Before we go on talking about, other things that you do and how you do it so well, how you're managing, when you have to enter, you become part of the pageant world, we always think of beauty, and we always think of physique, and we always think of size and sexiness and, being able to maintain that. And so do you have, I know that you said you have your turmeric and ginger tea, and,
Yes.
which is, that's a discipline that you have every night, which is excellent. I've acquired a taste for that from young. A lot of health benefits there.
Of course.
But in terms of being able to say having a healthy, do you make a conscious effort to have you stick with a strict diet, or do you you do it with moderation? How do you balance that in order?
Oh, thank you. Well, personally, I don't follow a very strict diet.
Right.
Again, I'm going to be honest, my dad, he's quite slim. And so, that is some genetics that I've gotten.
Yeah.
Yes, but again, of course, I'm 19 now. And so I know as I get older, my metabolism is going to slow down.
Yeah.
But I do try to ensure, whatever it is, again, that I'm putting into my body, it's something that is healthy. Yes, that doesn't mean to say, that I don't have anything sweet at all, at all. You would find me going into, if I wake up and I feel for a kiss cake, I would be going into one of those big birthday ones.
Well, let me tell you something, She used to receive gifts among gifts here, and whenever you received all those cakes and delicious things, everybody was partake of it. I
Yes,
remember
yes,
that. She has
definitely.
that sharing, giving soul the way you are.
Yes.
I want to go into now young East Indian girl coming from a very traditional family with lots of morals and lots of values. Strict in the sense that, you know, you come from a family that's closely knitted and you wouldn't think of wearing certain things. And this is going to be a little sensitive now because apart from the pageants that you get involved with, you do modeling and you're absolutely beautiful. I mean, I look at some of your portraits and some of your pictures and I am like, oh my God, this is perfect. Traditional home, family home, and now not nakedness, because you're never naked.
Yes.
Some people may say some of the photos are suggestive because a little boobies outside, and a little bit of the curves are shown. How did you manage again to strike that balance, especially with your family coming from such a traditional, cultured home?
Right. I love that you asked that. Initially when I told my family about it, my aunts and my grandmother, they were always, always supportive about the modeling, the pageantry. They funded, before I was working, I did my first pageant, I was 15 going on 16.
Yes.
What money does a 16-year-old have? I had my little allowance, so, they
yeah.
funded that. But,
Yeah.
I draw that reference to say initially my family, outside of my aunts and grandmother, they weren't the most enthusiastic because
Yeah.
the modeling industry is a bit limited in Trinidad. And
Yes.
so my family was saying, you're wasting your time. How much money are you getting from that? And so then imagine that, of course, as you gain experience, you would actually start to get properly booked jobs and whatnot. But with that, they were also like, you're so vain. Why is she dressing up in outfits like that? And so, that was something initially that was an issue. But I think as time went on, they saw that it is something that I enjoy doing. And
Yes.
again, mostly what I do is commercial modeling. So
Yes.
I am open to swimwear. And again, in the Miss Grand pageant, we had to wear swimwear, but I don't make it my entire brand. I don't make it, follow me because I wear swimwears.
Nice.
And so I'm all about body positivity. I'm all about being proud of, how it is that you look.
Okay.
And so personally, I think you can tastefully model certain outfits, whether that's a skirt with a little slit, whether that's, a little
Cleavage and
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't see anything wrong with that. And
Right.
I think with time, my family has come to understand it is something that I enjoy. And again, I would never wear anything that I wouldn't wear to the beach. I would never wear anything that I wouldn't wear, maybe on a little girls' night out. That doesn't mean to say I still have my mom sometimes. I mean, be like, that's swimwear. Why are you wearing that swimwear? And I have to explain to her, listen, it's for a brand. It's credible. Don't worry. And
Yeah.
so I think just with time they came to understand that is kind of what I do as a job. And again, it's somewhat of a character, somewhat of an image. And even with that character, it's never anything too outside of my character and what it is I would do and wear.
Nice. I think once you feel comfortable with yourself, the world will see that.
Sure, for sure.
And I think once you sit and consult, because you come from a very conservative family, like you say, your mom would question certain things, and you explain to her, Mom, X, Y, Z, and then they think differently and they think out of the box as
Most
well, not that
definitely.
limited thinking, you have to be covered and you have to, but it's how you do it, how you carry yourself as well, and the self-respect that you have for yourself.
Most
I think that is important. Priyanka, you're beautiful. You have, you carry yourself in a very positive way. Stalkers, you can't evade that. You can't run from that. You can't run from both men and women of every race and every age will take a second look.
Yes.
The other day I was going to the pharmacy and I saw you on the street and I was, and I told you, oh gosh, you're looking so beautiful and I always feel proud. I always feel happy to have a conversation with you. But then there are people who they're stalkers. They take it to another level.
Yes.
You've had that.
I have.
And how
It was
how do you
horrifying.
overcome that? How do you deal with it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really mind sharing a bit of what I experienced, of course, without calling any names or anything.
Right.
But, it was something that was challenging, especially because I did deal, with certain group of people, reaching out to people that I work with, commenting, humiliating things under my posts. And I mean, this was when I now started modeling, and kind of just taking it right back to what you said about the family. Imagine you're modeling a village girl, per se. It's outside of what you do, and then someone's commenting, humiliating things underneath.
Yes.
My family was like, that looks bad on you. Like, delete your Instagram, delete your this. And so it was something that was challenging for me to have untrue things commented, about me. And it was something for a little while did affect my mental health for the fact that, I was concerned it would affect my job, because I mean, with pageantry, there's a strict type of character that you have to follow. There's a strict image. And so with people stalking you, commenting under every post, that was an issue. And I did actually seek legal assistance through lawyers and made, multiple reports. And
I remember speaking about that as well.
And,
I remember.
I was told with a public image, people are going to comment.
Like it or not.
Like it or not. And, it was something that was a little off-putting for me, because, again, these were very specific, untrue things these people were commenting.
Yes.
But, again, I've just come to learn, I prioritize my physical safety.
Beautiful.
So if someone's making death threats, because that was something that I received, which was insane, I would take the steps to report it. I mean, it's no secret that in Trinidad, sometimes how do I say this? The law isn't really in place, like you can report that something happened.
But are you going to get justice? That's it. And how fast?
Yes.
You're absolutely correct. You do it and then you wait. And that's why, I mean, it's sad to say, but a lot of people think they need to take the law into their own hands because they don't feel as if they get justice.
Okay.
And so that's important for young people like yourself to talk to other young people about, because it doesn't just happen because it's simple things, jealousy. Just because you're looking good or you're doing well, there are people that are very envious, and that's a fact. You can't run from that. And that happens in everyday life. It happens to the young girl that's going to school or, working now, starting to work, and because she's looking very sexy and nice and she's getting all the attention, there are others who are looking on and just hate.
For sure.
And so we also have to know how to strike a balance to deal and cope with things like that, those situations that may arise. And you've been able to work with it and work along with it very effectively. Yes, it would affect you, you're only human, but you are strong enough to tell yourself, I am going to get over this. This is your perspective. This is your thoughts, not mine.
Yes, most definitely.
And I think that's important, and you've been able to juggle that and handle that well. When we come back, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to go into your acting. I was very fortunate to have been part of the audience of a play that you participated in. And I think it was Kieran Joseph Samaru and I were there. Shavana was there as well. And the three of us were there and had that experience. When we return after these important messages, I'll go into that experience. And she's going to talk to us a little bit about her acting career when we return. Stay with us.
Bar supplies and all your favorite beverages. Visit Suku's Limited, located at number 70 Queen Street, Marabella. We supply local groceries, mini-marts, bars, lounges, caterers, home entertainers, and everyone in between. Your trusted importer, distributor, and retailer. Call us today at 298-9989 or email sales@sukus.com.
Real TV, where we keep it real all day, every day. If you're loving the entertainment, the news, and all the content we bring, then don't just watch, be part of the movement. Follow us on every platform you use: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. Share this with your family and friends, your group chat. Let them know Real TV is the new wave. Real TV, news, entertainment, information, bringing reality to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, young people, senior citizens, it is my pleasure and privilege to invite you to look at the program Inspired on Real TV at 2 p.m. every Wednesday afternoon. Inspired is designed to lift your spirits, to help you overcome depression and failure so you could be an outstanding, extraordinary success. We have special experts every Wednesday who will inspire you to do better, to be your best self. So may God bless you. And remember, every Wednesday at 2 p.m., please look out for the program Inspire.
Real TV proudly presents the 2026 Mother's Day Extravaganza. Join us on May 8th at 10 a.m. for a special edition of Conversations with Zelisa. We'll have amazing gifts, sweet treats, and unforgettable moments. Let's celebrate the love, strength, and beauty of motherhood. Only on Real TV. For dry goods,
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa, right here on Real TV, bringing reality to you. To all of our local, regional, and international viewers, thank you so much for choosing us, allowing us to be part of your day, your moment. Those of you on Tego, the app, you can take Real TV with you real time, anytime, be part of our dynamic programming throughout the day. And remember to tell your friends and family about it, or you yourself, make sure and download it to your device, so that you don't miss out on our dynamic and great programming across the day, all right? Great content. Speaking of great content, let me talk to you about this beautiful young lady, Priyanka Maharaj, studying journalism, actor, model, and I can see her doing so many other things. Welcome back, Priyanka. You know, it's important for young people like yourself at your age to be proud of yourself. I am proud to sit here with you, a 19-year-old who is so focused, who is so, you have your goals and you execute them well. You're actually living your dream at 19. So the best is always yet to come for you. And I think it is always important for us, the older ones, to highlight young people like yourself, because you now could be the heroes of the younger ones. You could be she could do it, so can I. She did it, she's doing it, and so can I, despite all the negative things. It's not easy in this world. It's hard. It takes a lot of sacrifices. When you started in our newsroom, the fact is, and a lot of people probably were not aware, is that you were here by 5 o'clock every morning.
I was.
So it means you had to be up between 3 and 4 every morning to get organized, to get herself here. That in itself, as a young girl who was involved in beauty pageants, in modeling, in going to school, in getting up and committed to giving a delivery, was a lot. At your age. And so if you could do it, they're grown people with children and responsibilities that get up and do nothing every day. Absolutely nothing. Now, if they're happy with that, I'm happy for them. That's their choice. But then there are people like you who would be on top of things, ensure things happen, use your time wisely to make sure that your every goal or your every dream is achieved. That doesn't come easy. It comes with sacrifice and discipline.
Of course, yes. And I mean, even before that, there was a lot of training and coming coming from South, because before, the newsroom and whatnot, we were actually on air. Of course, you have training, because I mean, again, thank you for taking me, and I had no on-air experience.
No, but that's a great point that you've just raised there.
Yeah.
The fact is you would come from Faizabad to do her training here. And I also want to say, I mean, when I think more and more, your grandmother made that trip with you every day, and that woman would wait for you. That in itself is a great sacrifice. And I guess that is something perhaps you hold very close and dear to your heart, because she was that support.
Most definitely.
And she still is.
Most definitely. I mean, again,
that's strength.
It is. My family, they've been so supportive. We would take the 4:30 bus, 4:30 a.m. because I think at this point in time, I don't think I even had my license. And I mean, even so, I can't tell you how many times, back then, in one hand, I could have counted how many times I was on the road from South to here. So I couldn't even drive.
I never missed a day.
Yeah. So it was difficult. But again, with family support, sometimes, after months of knowing my grandmom is literally waiting at the bus terminal or waiting at a food establishment for me the entire day.
That's very true.
Even if I felt like, I don't think I can come anymore. I don't think I can do this anymore. Because of course there will be mornings like that.
Of course.
I would think about, okay, this much has been poured into it, and this is something I enjoy doing. It's a great opportunity. And
Priyanka, I'll say this on air to the thousands of people that are watching us. I will always support you.
Thank you.
I admire you, and I think it's young people like you that you need to stand up for and support and be the wind that will continue to push you, that will keep you to allow your wings to spread and you fly. And I've always blessed you with whatever you did. And I think that is where a door will always be open for you wherever you go, even here at Real TV. You will always be part of us. You will always be part, like I've always said it, Kiran Joseph Samaru, the sacrifice he made for Real TV. I mean, even with radio, Kiran started working, as you know, in the radio station with us, doing that morning show, and then he went on to do the television show. And these are just people that are great people that come into your path for a reason and purpose. And I've always said to him, he's a light. He was God sent, and there are people like you, like I will always support you, bless you, and it's the same for him. Wherever he goes, I will continue to always bless him, because people like you and him and others that would have been part of us, even though you may not be here physically now, the fact is you'll always be part of what we started, and that was a solid foundation, and you can't forget that.
Most definitely.
And that is important. Where do we see you? I mean, I've seen you, like I said, it was Kiran, Shavana and I that attended. It was Passage to Asia.
Passage to Asia, yes.
Yeah, for the play that you did.
Pardesia.
Now, let me tell you all something. I was blown away. I just wanted to see more and more and more. I think that night I was awarded as well.
You were.
But the play and actually seeing you perform in that light, because we knew Priyanka coming here, sitting at her desk, doing her job. You don't have to tell Priyanka. Let me tell you something about this young lady. You never had to ask twice. What you doing? You doing your work? Tell me what's happening. Never had to say, go sit down, go focus. This child will come here, sit at her desk, concentrate, do what I mean, sometimes she used to be on the phone. But the fact is her work was always done well and on time. She always gave her all and very committed to what she was doing. So seeing her in that light, working, you have to ask her something to ignite a conversation. Or unless she would come and say, can I have a chat with you? And then we would sit and we would have our little chats in office, which I enjoyed very much. But sitting in the audience now and looking at you on that stage in character, I mean, I was blown away.
Oh, thank you.
I said, but this child is really talented. I mean, we kept clapping and wanting more. And you had us in stitches in the sense that you really move. I can say me personally, but when you look back and reflect and you hear, everybody was in awe of your performance, the perfection, the way you delivered. that took a lot of practice as well.
It did, it did. Us with everything, especially with theater, with film, you can make 100 mistakes, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
It could be
producers wouldn't
edited,
like
yes.
that. Producers, they wouldn't like having to refilm 100 times. But with theater now, that is something. You're on a stage, you make a mistake, you have to improvise. You're worried, is my co-star, is he going to forget his lines? What is going to happen? Am I going to slip? So there is a lot of worry sometimes that goes on.
And pressure.
Pressure, but I mean, that's part of, I love a good adrenaline rush,
Yeah, but let me tell you something, Priyanka, we didn't see that,
Right.
We didn't see what was going on inside of you, We saw the movements, the way you articulate, you really had us blown away. You really had us I kept saying, this girl real good. She's excellent. I mean, it was just a feeling of feeling proud. And again, that takes a lot of sacrifice and in order to perfect. You're correct. If somebody fumble with their line or your co-host, they fumble or they forget their lines, you there and then need to come up to fill that. It's not easy.
You do. And I mean, that was something that we prepared for. Miss Sita Prasad, she was the playwright. And of course, she trained us lots and lots of hours into training. I remember at a temple, we would go and sometimes we'll go, from 1 o'clock and we'll leave about 9 o'clock. And again, same lines again and again and again and again. So, it was something
to get it right.
To get it right. And, we did prepare. If someone forgets, just improvise.
Sita is also perfectionist. She comes from her very humble beginnings. And I think her heart and soul is really in development of the arts and helping young ones to develop their talents, especially when it comes to dance and things like that and acting. So I guess that experience with her was a very good one for you as well. I want to talk a little bit now about you, Priyanka Maharaj. We've been talking to the Priyanka Maharaj who we see in front of a camera, or we go at an audience and sit and look at you, you act, or we may see an ad, or we may see a billboard, and we see that Priyanka Maharaj. Who is really Priyanka Maharaj? At 19, tell us who is Priyanka Maharaj.
Yeah, I mean, beyond all the acting and the modeling and stuff, I think I'm just like any other 19-year-olds. I have my days where I feel amazing. I have my days where I feel not so good. But I mean, with that, I always try. And I think this is something not just teens can take away, but even adults, you're going to have your down days. Give yourself time to rest. You're going to have, sometimes you're going to have friendship problems. You're going to have relationship problems. I mean, that's just life. But, just keep pushing and just know who you are and I guess what it is that, you stand for. And I mean, like I said earlier on in the interview, I'm fortunate enough, again, with a supportive family. When I say supportive, I mean, supportive in the practical sense, going with me to shoots, because, I mean, it's a dangerous world out here,
It is. You're young, you're beautiful, you're attractive, you have a lot of predators out there.
Yeah. So, again, just with the support of them and whatnot, I just make sure that whatever it is that, I'm doing, again, it aligns with, with who I am. And yeah, as I was saying, I'm fortunate enough, rather, that what it is that I do professionally, again, aligns with my passion. So whenever someone asks, Priyanka, who are you? I'm like, do I tell them about my friend live? What do I tell them about? Because, again, what I do professionally is what I'm passionate about. And so sometimes I feel like, am I going to seem like modeling and acting is my whole entire personality? But I mean, that is who I am. I love being able to switch into a character. I love being able to just, it gives me an adrenaline rush, and it's just something that makes me excited. And so I'll say that is who I am. With every pageant, of course, there's a character you have to step into. But I mean, even outside of that, I'm not just doing it for the sake of finances. I'm not just doing it for the sake of, 2 seconds of fame or anything.
What do you do on your downtime? Your time?
My time.
When you're not practicing, when you're not working, when you're not studying, what do you do on your time? What is your time? What do you do to strike that balance?
Right.
We'll talk about that right after these important messages. This is a program, Conversations with Zelisa, right here on Real TV. Let's go to these messages, please. Excellent. You fluent.
$599.95 for this circular saw. This is the total 1400 watts, 7.25-inch circular saw. Proper power, 1400 watts pushing 4800 RPM. So when you're cutting, it's actually cutting. Clean cuts through board, framing, and ply. No struggle. Adjustable cutting depth and bevel cuts up to 45 degrees for angle work. It comes with a 24 teeth circular saw blade and an extra pair of carbon brushes, so you are ready to go. And once again, it's only $599.95. So stop fighting with your tools. Upgrade to the 1400 watts now. Available now at the Fixes Center. You can visit us at Lipole 109 Monroe Cunupia or give us a call at 424-1563.
I am Zelisa Singh Rupani, inviting you to join me for the rebirth of Apne Sitare, Our Stars, a vibrant and spectacular show celebrating the incredible local talents of the sons and daughters of Trinidad and Tobago. Experience the beauty of our culture through singing, dancing, and musical performances as we keep the arts alive and shining bright. Tune in right here on Real TV every Sunday from 1 p.m. for Apne Sitare, Our Stars. See you there.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
Hey, I'm Enrique.
And I am Alicia.
And this is Voices of the People,
where Trinbago speaks.
Join us every Monday and Friday
from 2 to 3 p.m.
on Real TV,
where we give you, the people,
a voice.
When security matters most, choose Catch Security Services Limited. We are proudly approved by the Ministry of Homeland Security. We protect your home, business, community, and much more. Our services include professional baton and armed officers, specialized K-9 units, mobile patrols, secure cash pickups, secure transport, and pepper spray applications and supply coming soon. Don't wait. Secure your assets now. Contact Catch Security today. Call 622-6601, email info@cssl-tt.com, or visit our office at 30-32, Saddle Road, Maraval.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa, right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you, to all of our local, regional, and international viewers. Thank you so much for choosing us, allowing us to be part of your moments, helping you to make better choices, better decisions. Knowledge is power. I'm in conversation with Priyanka Maharaj today, and she's talking about her life, her career, her struggles, and her highs, her lows, and how she continues to shine and shine bright like a shining star. Priyanka, welcome back. Let's talk a little bit about, as we were talking before, in terms of you and what do you do for your downtime? What do you like to do? Do you like to read? Do you like to cook? Do you like to listen to music? What do you do on your time that makes you most happy?
Yes, I love to cook.
I
love to cook. I love to cook.
You need to cook some food for us.
I should. I can't remember who it was, but I remember when I was working here, actually, I had made some soup and I brought it for one of my co-workers. I think there was someone in the production room because I was telling him I can cook, and he was like, look at you, you can't cook.
Yeah.
And so I had bought something, I think, for him to taste, and he actually had liked it.
Nice.
So, I love to cook.
Was it a pak soup?
It wasn't ramen. It wasn't. No, it was.
I'm just kidding with you.
No, I actually had to think. Was it a pack soup? No, no. But it was an actual meal. I think it was soup. Though
Very
I love
nice.
making soup.
So you like making soup?
Yeah, I love
What sort
cooking.
of soup?
Oh, I love corn soup. Corn, and ever since I was very, very small, I love corn. So I love to make a nice, good corn soup.
Hearty pot soup.
Yeah.
Comfort food.
Yes, comfort food.
Nice.
Comfort food.
What do you love to do again besides cooking and enjoying your own food?
Yeah, so sometimes, this is something I preach, enjoying your own presence, your own time. And so I like to take myself out on these little things I call solo dates. So I take myself out, to watch a movie. If I see something is showing that I really want to see, whether it's a horror, I love myself a good horror, a good rom-com, and Bollywood movies, of course, I grew up on that. And so I love to just take myself out, have something nice to eat at a restaurant, go watch a movie. And I know that's something that's so small. It's not a hobby per se, but it is something that I very proudly tell people about. And I do get, some, do you not have friends? Do you not have, But it is something that I love to do on my downtime, and I look forward to doing because,
That's a good message for young and old people and young at heart. A lot of people would say, well, you need to have good company. But I think if you are happy doing what you want to do and you're happy with yourself, I could see myself doing a lot of things alone and being happy.
Of course.
Not having too much, just spending time with me. And I think it's because you always interact. Perhaps you're always so consumed, or you're so around people and you're so interacting with people that sometimes you look forward to just spending time alone with yourself and enjoying that, like a good cup of coffee or a good cup of tea and just enjoying reading and spending that time with yourself, bouncing back.
And I mean, even outside of that, something I love. I love psychology. Actually, I'm looking at starting a certificate in psychology.
Nice.
So outside of journalism, which I love, I mean, there are those small things. But I mean, if you leave me in a room for 2 hours, I can come up with 1,000,001 things that I want to do. Like my attention span it's always jumping, which I mean is something, being honest, I struggled with at some point.
Yeah.
So in my downtime, it's really just whatever it is that I feel like doing. Whether I wake up and I say, I want to study psychology today, I want to study criminology today. It's kind of just, I allow it to be my free time, and I just don't push past, again, anything that I'm uncomfortable with doing.
I mean, I'm sure that you have moments and times where you just, oh gosh, what or who, I should say, is that give you that spark, that push, that motivates you? Get up every day and do what you need to get done. Because I'm sure you have those days where you feel like, why today? I just don't feel like doing anything. But that person that will constantly remind you, you have a goal, you have a reason and purpose, and you have to get up and go, like it or not. Who's that person?
I would say I have multiple people like that. Again, I mean, first of all, my aunts and my grandmother, they financed a lot of what I did. And I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, it's a really big thing, And so sometimes if I feel like I just want to just go back home in South and, just do nothing. Those moments.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't actually mean that, but, sometimes you just feel so, worn down. I would think, I mean, they finance this much. Do you believe in this much? Sometimes even my aunt, she'll say, I find you're not really doing much shoots, what's going on? And so I would say they kind of motivate me. Of course, again, everyone that I've worked with, when I first started modeling, a lot of the shoots I did was portfolio building shoots, meaning photographers, they never charged me. And so, they saw something in me before I even saw that something in me. And so sometimes when I do feel down, I think about that. I have a best friend, Irish, has been my friend. Oh, we went to elementary school together. So, I mean, that has been 14 years. And she's someone
you go back to that. Nice.
Course, yes.
You have that one person that you go to that you feel most comfortable with. That's important. That you have that that cushion that some of us say, or the rock, that some of us may say, or that a place or that person of comfort. That you know you're comforted. You just know that they're around and you feel that comfort. Who's your hero?
My hero. Oh, I would have to say my grandmother. Again,
And she's a darling.
She is. She's very sweet. Has always been supportive. A lot of times, my grandmom, she's 68. A lot of times, she doesn't understand what's going on. I'll be telling her about a shoot, and she'll say, "Oh, the photographer." So she doesn't understand with the age. But despite that, she is still someone that supports what it is that I do. I mean, of course, there are those moments it gets a little annoying. At the end of the day, I am, a regular teen. It gets annoying trying to explain again and again and again for the 10th time. Well, here's where you can watch my video. But I mean, that's all parts of it.
You are a teenager, but I think you're mature
Thank
in
you.
such a dynamic way. You're very responsible for what you do and how you do it. And I think it takes a lot of self-discipline as well. I share that with you in the sense that I think my rock or the person that, I felt very close to, who understood me the best in my life was my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. She went to the great beyond. This year will be 8 years. But there is not a day that goes by that I don't think of her, because she made, like your grandmother, made such a great impact in my life, I'm sure. So I could relate to that.
Yes.
The closeness and the understanding, and that person that really knows you best.
Yes.
So you connect with her. Where do we see you in 10 years?
Oh, in 10 years. I try to take it a year at a time.
I like that. I like
try
that.
to take it a year at a time. Every year, like, I have a vision for myself. I know definitely, Trinidad and Tobago, we have, it's a melting pot of talent, producers, actors, models, but we don't have the resources. That's the fact of the matter. I recently was in a film that, was shown at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival, which was a great opportunity, but I think it is something that, beyond that, I would love to actually see how I can build a career in terms of media, in terms of acting, and so I'll definitely like to get outside of Trinidad. Currently, I'm kind of putting things in place to see if I can work within the CARICOM, and with that, there's permits you have to get agencies, but to answer your question, 10 years from now, I would love to actually have grown my career more beyond Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, by then I'll be 29, so hopefully I'm married.
So clearly you see yourself in international. You see yourself internationally. You see yourself living in Trinidad or out of Trinidad?
Trinidad would always be home. So, it is something that, despite where and how I grow, God willing, of course, I would like to look back at Trinidad as a home. But ideally, I think to actually maintain and sustain a career within the creative field. But there's no denying that it's very competitive. Like, there are millions and millions of people that want the same thing that I want.
Right.
But I definitely would like to take it on an international level, and so I would think you would have to actually live there to maintain a schedule and whatnot.
Very nice. You talk about a family. So you see yourself falling in love, being a wife and being a mother?
Yes.
That's part of the goal?
It is, again, this is not really something I share, but, my parents, they separated. I think I was 1 or 3. For the longest while, I thought I was 3 years. I asked my grandmom, she said, no, you were 1. I don't know where I got that 3 from, and so I think with that, again, being honest in terms of mental health and whatnot, it is something that I've thought about. If you don't have ideal relationship examples, am I going to get in a toxic relationship? Am I going to get in a toxic situation with that, would I have to live out the same reality that my mom lived out, my grandmother, because, a lot of them have broken marriages,
Yes.
or relationships that weren't ideal. And so it is something that there is a level of fear with that. But, it is something that I want, I think, with everyone. I don't know at what age it usually happens, but, sometimes there is that maternal instinct. There is that, wanting to share what you've built.
I'd say this to you, Priyanka, because you and I have had many conversations, private conversations in the office, and, we've chatted about so many different things. And I'll say this to you today. You are you, and you are a shining star. You were born to shine, and you are already shining. And this is your path, and this is your book. You write it. You live it. I know that you would have had, or you probably have, the fear of, because of past experiences of what mom lived or grandma lived and things like that. And there was a point in my life where I also questioned those things. But you are the creator. So far, you've done exceptionally well. And don't put that block there or that apprehension, because tell yourself it is going to be beautiful. And it's going to be meaningful, and it's going to last a lifetime. Because it will. Because you hold the key for your future and your destiny. You are already doing that in such a very impressive way. So may God continue to bless you richly. May you continue to shine. You set your goals, my darling, and you go towards them without any apprehension. Continue to give your all, because the truth is, Priyanka, you have the formula. You've been making it happen. It's been happening for you. You are living your dreams at 19. So there's no stopping. All right? So may God continue to bless you as you go from strength to strength. I'm sure we'll see more of you here on Real TV. This is your home away from home. I saw you this morning, and that's what I said to you. And so our blessings are always with you. You spread your wings and you fly, darling, and you shine and continue to make us proud. But more importantly, continue to live your dreams and continue to make you happy.
For sure. And I mean, that is absolute key in making yourself happy.
God bless you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you very soon.
Yes, thank you again for having me.
You're welcome, darling. It's been my blessing and privilege. We're very grateful to spend this time with you, because you continue to be a shining light, and you will continue to inspire young people, and young at heart as well. All the best. This is where we're going to wrap things up for today. Thank you kindly for choosing us here at Real TV, where we bring reality to you. Keep smiling, be positive. Know the best is yet to come. Set your goal, set your intention, and live it. You hold the key to it, all right? You are responsible for your tomorrows. Just remember that by the choices you make today. Keep smiling, be positive, and always know the best is yet to come. But here's reminding you that with God, all things are possible. I am Zelisa Budu Singh Rupani. Thank you so much for choosing us. Be safe. See you tomorrow.